Time for something different indeed. New York City is a big place, a loud place. Some of that noise is music, and some of the music is noise. Sucking it all in and turning it loose with prejudice, the Jon Spencer Blues Explosion takes a ferocious bite out of the Big Apple with their new long player, Freedom Tower No Wave Dance Party 2015. The first record of the new era that demands to be stopped and frisked. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous, most groovy, Jon Spencer. Hello, Jon.
Hello. It's quite an introduction.
You deserve it.
Well, thank you. Thanks very much.
Big fan. Started off over 24 years ago, a time when many bands started popping up that had the freedom to express themselves without much influence from the suits at the big record companies. Do you think you'd be where you are now if that was not the case?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure how to answer that. I've always done, just what I wanted to do, and so I've always relied just on myself. Never put myself at the mercy of a company or a label. And when I started out, I was booking my own shows and making my own records, putting out my own records. Everything was DIY. And that's pretty much held true for, the last 30 years. So yeah, I'd like to think that if I was, a young man again and starting all over again, I'd still, stick to my guns and pull myself up by my own bootstraps.
Good. Keep doing what you're doing. It's perfect.
Nice. Well, I'm going to try.
Freedom Tower is a radical portrait of New York City set to the savage funkicide of the blues explosion, locked and loaded with the most deadly predatory guitar riffs that primitive magnetic tape can handle. This is what I read about your latest album. Are you still recording on analog?
Well, for this record, we did. We tracked at Daptone Studio out in Brooklyn, and so it was. It's 1-inch 8-track tape.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I noticed a couple other bands that I've been following that have been going back to analog, and for me, I can tell the difference, and it makes a big difference for me.
I've always. That's what I started with, and I'm a big fan of old technology, and certainly do enjoy when working in a nice studio, and do prefer to work with older equipment and analog tape. But I don't think that there's a right and wrong way. That if it works for you, if any technology, so long as it gets the job done.
Yeah. You've worked with quite a few notables over your time, collaborated with Steve Albini, Beck, Mike D, R.L. Burnsides. Is anyone left that you would like to work with?
I'm sure there is, but I think given the fact that this record and the previous Blues Explosion studio album, it's just the three of us. We've now done 2 albums with no guests at all. Maybe not. I don't know. We've been very, very lucky to meet some of our musical heroes, and extremely lucky to get to make some noise with some of these people. I can't say I have a laundry list in my back pocket. That there's a list of names still waiting to be checked off. It's not that I'm stopped listening to records. Not at all. I don't. I guess I don't know why. Something's changed though. But we have been very lucky to over the years.
Yeah. What do you think your proudest accomplishment on this album is?
On this record?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's a hard one. I'm very happy with the way they came out. I do think of it as an album. I think of it as a whole. I grew up with record albums, so making an album is still important to us and to the Blues Explosion. And so, we're not just thinking about a song to upload or a song for a video. We're thinking about a whole album, and we do think very hard, careful about how all the songs will sit together and how they'll flow from one into the other. That said, I'm very happy with a song like Rock Box, I'm very pleased with the way that one came out.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You are, I consider you to be a musical genius and conductor, fusing different blends of rock and blues and all kinds of music and noise. Is there anything else that you think you might be able to experiment with someday and throw in there?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. Plutonium? I don't know. B vitamin B12?
I hear Iran's selling some. They got some left over.
Yeah. I really don't know.
How about you're traveling across the country a lot and going to other countries? Is there any place you could kind of look forward to going to when you come to a city that your favorite comfort food, like a favorite burger or a pizza or something?
Well, there's some pretty good pizza up in Connecticut, isn't there?
Yeah, Pepe's.
Yeah. Good coffee is always nice, but it's much easier to find a good cup of coffee these days compared to, say, 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't have any dietary restrictions, and I'm always eager to check out what the people in town rate highly. So I guess I'm always trying to look out for the new things and try something new, a new drink or a new dish, and so I'm always asking around, where's the spot? Where should we go? What should we check out?
That is the key, I think, going to a new city. Just ask the locals where they go.
Yeah, and playing in this band, and I think playing in any rock and roll band, but definitely playing in this band, it's been wonderful to have had the opportunity to travel around and to meet a lot of these locals.
One last question. This might be a hard one. I don't know. For you, it might not be. Punk, is it more of a style of music or an attitude?
I guess for me, the music.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a mixture, but I would favor on the side of the attitude.
I mean, I fell in love with records and bands, and so it's definitely music which was motivating me. I wasn't too concerned with maybe this is not true. I was going to say I wasn't too concerned with the way I looked or the way people thought, the kind of person they thought I was. I probably went through a bit of a rough patch, but definitely with the Blues Explosion, I've always tried to, I'm a very hard worker and generally responsible person, and I try to, be nice to the people around me. So that doesn't seem, when I think about a punk attitude, I think about some terrible Hollywood movie, Class of 1984 or something.
Yeah.
I'm more into music.
Very cool. You're going to be playing at the Iron Horse in Northampton on Wednesday the 8th.
And then the next night we're over in the Boston area.
Yep, and Brighton Music Hall in Alston.
Yeah, and then we're not going to be back up to the region until June. We'll be playing up in Burlington, Vermont, but that's not even that close to where you are.
It's worth the trip, though.
Yeah, we'll be playing in New York City in late May. We're playing at the Bowery Ballroom at the end of the month, end of May.
Excellent. I look forward to seeing you again. Jon Spencer of the Jon Spencer Blues Explosion. Thanks very much, John, for giving us a call. Could you hold on to line 1 second?
I sure will. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for having me.
All right, Jon Spencer. Let's go back to playing some more music off the new album, Freedom Towers. And we got some wonderful, groovy stuff for you. Stay tuned. 90.1 WECS, Willimantic.
In the 90s, when we were...
a lot of people from